God bless you. This is the day that the Lord has made. I'm Dr. Charles Kenton. You've tuned in A Word Fitly Spoken. It's an interesting dynamic and one of the unsung heroes that we're going to talk about today. The word for today is coach, cultivating optimism and conquering hypocrisy. We don't hear a lot about the coach. We don't hear a lot about the person behind the scenes. We hear is float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. But we don't realize that that didn't come from the actual person in the ring. That came from somebody whispering in his ear off to the side. And a coach is like that. In my book, A Word Fitly Spoken, I talk about the need for us to identify and appreciate a coach. There have been many great teams and great individual sports figures, but in all cases, there's somebody behind the scenes motivating, challenging, and seeing more in that individual than they see in themselves. An author once said that. He said, "It's a shame that someone else sees more in you than you see in yourself." The development of greatness is generally seen outside of you before it's seen inside of you. And so that coach is one that's got to go inside of you and eradicate all the negativity, all the I can't, in order to pull out the I can in you. And that's an educator. It really is a skillful craft to be able to see something in somebody else that they don't even see themselves. And so that coach has got to cultivate a spirit of optimism. He's got to, and the reason why optimism has got to be cultivated is because it's just not there. They have the talent, they have the ability, they have the wherewithal, but they just don't believe they can do it. And so a coach is one that comes alongside, just like the Holy Spirit will come alongside and aid you, assist you, help you. One writer said that the comforter, I will not leave you comfortless. And he was talking about orphan, I will not leave you fatherless. And a coach is one that comes alongside to encourage you, to edify you, to strengthen you, and to speak optimism in you so that you feel like you can run faster. You believe in that coach and you believe that what they're telling you is true. And so here, that optimism must come forth. And then after the optimism comes this hypocritical attitude, this doubt and fear and unbelief, because a coach is one that recognizes that there's a need for optimism, but there's also a need to destroy and dismiss this hypocritical attitude that says that I can't. And that's a childlike mentality. And coaches are interesting dynamics because I've known of coaches to be your sibling. I've known of coaches to be between a husband and a wife. I've known of coaches to be a stranger. I've known of coaches to be an enemy or an adversity. And it seems to say something to you. It seems to say, you can do this. You can do this. Even if you want to prove somebody wrong, they can become a coach to you, and they will cultivate something in you that will cause you to get up when you don't feel like it. They will cause something to come alive in you that says, I'm going to prove them wrong. And whatever means God uses to cultivate optimism, you need to recognize that as your coach. So many great athletes and great scholars and great leaders always had a coach. They don't get very much credit, and they're not trying to get credit. That's one of the beauties about a coach. They're not really after the limelight. They're not really after you patting them on the back or telling them that they did a great job. But between you and them, they know. That boxer knows what you spoke into their ear. That boxer knows that you didn't let them quit. You didn't let them stop when they felt exasperated, when they felt like they couldn't continue. You continued to motivate them. There's not always been the best of coaches. Let me just tell you, there's not always been the nicest of coaches. Some of these guys are just mean, but they're mean with a mission. They're mean with a mandate. When I was in boot camp and when I was in the Marine Corps, when I played football in high school, I had a coach. I know his name. And he used to stand over me and he used to drill in me, this is the way you do this, and you do it like this every time. And when you get to a place where you're doing something deliberately the same way every time, you have been well coached. Championship teams are always going to point back to a great coach. Somebody that gets in their ear, somebody that gets into their face, somebody that gets into their heart and causes them to recognize, I think I can. Like the little train, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. I think I will, because that will must be birthed, and that will to quit must be destroyed. So much of what is going on in our lives today, people are now naming themselves life coaches. They haven't even lived, in my opinion, but yet they're telling you how to be whatever it is that you want to be. And they're making mega bucks coaching individuals into their particular field of it or endeavor. I'm here to help you to recognize coaches when you see them. A coach is one that cultivates, and it's a job to cultivate optimism in somebody that just don't have it. They just don't. That's why there needs to be, they got talent, they just don't have the optimism. They got ability, they don't believe. And a coach is somebody that comes alongside and says, hey, if you will allow me, and that's something that is critical. That's something that every coach has to ask that person that he is coaching or that she is coaching. Will you allow me to coach you? If you'll allow me to coach you, I'll take you to the Olympics. If you'll allow me to coach you, I'll take you to a championship. I'll take you some places that you never dreamed that was possible. I thank God for the coaches that came alongside of me and saw something in me that I did not see in myself. And they're sometimes family members. Mordecai and Esther, they were coached. She was headed for the throne. She was headed to be a king. And it's time for you to recognize coaches in your life. God bless you.